A helicopter crash left a Siemens executive, his family, and their pilot dead. Here's what we know. CNN. A sightseeing helicopter plunged into the Hudson River on Thursday, turning a family outing above Manhattan's misty skyline into a tragedy. The helicopter carried 6 people, including 3 children and their parents, who have both worked for Siemens, a German multinational technology conglomerate. It lifted off from a Manhattan heliport and followed a familiar route, circling the Statue of Liberty, gliding north along the Hudson toward the George Washington Bridge, and then turning south. About 16 minutes after takeoff, the aircraft crashed into the water, according to analysis by CNN and Flight Radar 24. Witnesses described the helicopter flipping and spiraling before crashing near the New Jersey shoreline upside down, scattering debris across the river. The helicopter was a little bit like nose down, slightly, and I saw the propeller separating from the helicopter. It kept spinning in the air alone. Nothing was attached to it. Sarah Jane Raymond Ryer, who saw the crash unfold, told CNN affiliate WSBS. A video obtained by CNN shows the rotor blades detached from the helicopter and flying through the air. The videotape in this case is very dramatic and very important to the investigation, former National Transportation Safety Board Managing Director Peter Goals told CNN on Friday. Eyewitness Avi Rakesh told CNN's Jessica Dean that what was left of the helicopter appeared to be so out of control, he didn't feel safe in his own building. Debris was flying everywhere. I was concerned that something might come and hit the window, Rakesh said. Here's what we know about the crash that killed everyone on board. A Siemens family and pilot among the victims. The victims include Agustin Escobar, 49, his wife, Mercè Camprubí Montal, and their 3 children. New York City Mayor Eric Adams said the family was visiting from Spain, and Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop said in a social media post that the family was in New York to celebrate Camprubí's 40th birthday. We are deeply saddened by the tragic helicopter crash in which Agustin Escobar and his family lost their lives. Our heartfelt condolences go out to all their loved ones, a Siemens Mobility spokesperson said in a statement to CNN. Escobar served as CEO of Rail Infrastructure at Siemens Mobility, the transportation solutions division of Siemens AG. Spain's Prime Minister, Pedro Sanchez, expressed his condolences, calling the incident an unimaginable tragedy. Camprubí was the global commercialization manager for Siemens Energy, according to her LinkedIn page. Siemens Energy is an independent company that was spun off from Siemens AG in 2020. We are deeply saddened and shocked by the loss of a colleague due to a tragic accident during vacation, said a statement from Siemens Energy. Our thoughts and heartfelt condolences go out to the family, friends, and colleagues of the victims. In addition to her international corporate career, Camprubí is known in Spain as a member of a prominent sports family. Camprubí's grandfather and great-grandfather both served as presidents of FC Barcelona, one of the most popular soccer clubs in the world. The pilot was also killed, though officials have not yet released their identity. CNN has reached out to the New York Police Department and the U.S. Coast Guard for more information on the victims. What happened? The cause of the crash remains unclear, but its sudden descent stunned witnesses as first responders raced to rescue the victims. The helicopter took off at 2:59 p.m. from Manhattan's downtown heliport following a popular sightseeing route, New York Police Department Commissioner Jessica Tisch said. After circling the Statue of Liberty, it flew north along the Hudson River, reaching the George Washington Bridge by 3:08 p.m. It then turned south along the New Jersey shoreline, where it lost control shortly after, Tisch said. Visibility at the time was 10 miles, though the region was cloudy with winds of 10 to 15 miles per hour and gusts up to 25 miles per hour. A weather system was expected to bring light rain later in the afternoon. At 3:17 p.m., multiple 911 calls reported a crash near Pier A Park in Hoboken, New Jersey. Witnesses said the helicopter appeared to stop midair before pieces broke off, consistent with preliminary emergency reports, Tisch said. Jersey City resident Ipsita Benigri described the sound as such a loud sound. It felt like thunder, she told WSBS. Then I saw black particles flying. Again, I thought maybe it's just dust or birds. And then we heard all the emergency vehicles and sirens go by. I think that's when it was like, okay, what's happening? With the helicopter's catastrophic failure in midair, there was no way to guide the aircraft to safety, a former combat pilot told CNN's Kate Baldwin. There's nothing that pilot could have done in that situation to recover the aircraft, Brant Anderson said. First responders from NYPD and New York City Fire Department teams pulled 6 people from the water. 4 victims were pronounced dead at the scene, and 2 others succumbed to injury shortly after, Tisch said. 2 children were taken to Jersey City Medical Center, where they were later pronounced dead, Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop said on X. The aircraft's main fuselage was retrieved from the river on Thursday evening, and dive operations continued Friday, WSBS reported. Previous safety incidents. The company operating the helicopter was previously involved in 2 safety incidents investigated by federal aviation authorities. In 2015, a pilot for the New York helicopter charter company was forced to land in New Jersey after hovering 20 feet in the air for a short time. An initial inspection showed there may have been corrosion removed from sections of the helicopter and that some of the helicopter's component parts may have been deformed to an extent to be considered unairworthy, according to an FAA inspector at the time. The same helicopter was previously involved in a crash in Chile in 2010. In 2013, a pilot for the company was forced to land a helicopter carrying 4 passengers on the water near Manhattan after hearing a bang that was followed by the engine-out warning horn. The pilot inflated the helicopter's floats and got the passengers to safety on a boat. "The only thing I can tell you is that we are devastated," Michael Roth, the CEO of the company operating the flight, told CNN of Thursday's crash. "I'm a father, a grandfather, and my wife hasn't stopped crying since this afternoon." When asked about the helicopter's maintenance, he said, "That's something my director of maintenance handles." The director of maintenance declined to comment. Maintenance records are not publicly accessible, and the NTSB restricts what companies can disclose during an ongoing investigation. The pilot called in that he was landing and that he needed fuel, and it should have taken him about 3 minutes to arrive, but 20 minutes later, he didn't arrive, Roth told The Telegraph Thursday. The helicopter, a Bell 206L for Long Ranger 4, was built in 2004 and held an airworthiness certificate issued in 2016 that was valid through 2029, according to Federal Aviation Administration records. Maintenance records are not public, and during investigations, NTSB rules prohibit companies from releasing certain information relating to the accident. The investigation into the cause of the crash will pore over documentation on all the work that was done on the aircraft. That would include the company's compliance with 2 recent FAA-issued airworthiness directives. One directive from May 2023 required the testing and possible replacement of tail rotor drive shafts on 8 different Bell 206L models, including the 206L-4. That directive was prompted by an incident in which a Bell 206L helicopter experienced the loss of a tail rotor drive due to a joint failure. The FAA also issued a December 2022 airworthiness directive on Bell 206L models with specific parts requiring inspection and possible replacement of the helicopter's main rotor blades because of delamination. That refers to layers within the blades separating due to material fatigue, damage from bird strikes, for example, or manufacturing errors, potentially leading the rotor blade to fail. It remains unclear whether any of these issues played a role in Thursday's crash. Investigation underway. Both the FAA and the NTSB are investigating the crash. The NTSB has dispatched a GO team to the site to examine the wreckage and review maintenance records, it said on social media, and is asking the public to submit any additional video or photos they may have. The helicopter was flying within New York's Special Flight Rules area in New York, where air traffic control support is limited, Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy said in a post on X. Duffy added that the helicopter had received air traffic assistance from LaGuardia Airport shortly before entering the uncontrolled zone.